Yo, what up, people? Smith some motherfucking R here today, of course, to give you guys Coppelion Coppelion episode 3 motherfucking review. And you know what? This episode, it got better. It got better than episode 2. The series is getting progressively better and better as it proceeds. That's just the case. I mean, oh my god, this was some crazy shit. Like, if you paid attention, like, oh, so much information was coming, like, left, right, here, and there. Like, we found out the name of these areas that are highly contaminated. They call them zones. We meet the man who created it all. And apparently he's also the man who delivers food to people on the regular, except for, of course, the past months. Because I believe he didn't have their car, or they didn't have the car, or something like that. And not only that, but then we also got the fact that this dude is witnessing these girls. He's just like, oh my god, fuck humanity. Like they realize, like, oh my god, like, I don't know exactly what to say about that. I mean, there were just so many moments in this where it was just like, yo, fuck the government and fuck humanity. They do fucked up shit. But these girls, the way they look at it is, if it wasn't for, this situation, they would have never been born. And so they looked at this town, or this city, in a sense, as their hometown. The place where they're from. If it wasn't for this accident that happened, apparently, now they're saying 30 years ago, whenever the fuck it happened. But 30 years ago, apparently. Anyway, the thing about it is, when you take into account the fact that how they look at their lives, about how this accident is what gave them life, it just gets more and more interesting. Interesting. And even besides that, it goes on even further, describing these, like, one cure-all, like, shots that she has in her pistol, which I believe also shoots bullets now. I believe that those were actually bullets. I'm not sure, because it didn't actually hit anybody, so I'm not sure. She could have been shooting anything. She could have been shooting tranquilizer darts like she did with that fucking dog, but I'm going to assume bullets, because I saw the clip and it looked like there were bullets in there. We'll see. So apparently the not-so pistol can shoot bullets. That's pretty interesting. And we also, while we're on this topic really fast, we also figure out that her ability is, like, she has like 10 times the, like, athletic strength of regular humans. And we also learn more about I believe it was Irabara. No, not Irabara. We learn more about Teiko, and apparently she wears glasses, but she wears them because if she doesn't, then her eyesight is too good. Like, the glasses reduce her eyesight by like 1/10. So apparently her eyesight is 10 times humans. So we're now noticing, like, a trait, like they're 10 times superior. And apparently, using their blood cells, they can create a vaccine to heal humans. And maybe themselves too, but going and getting their cells, that's like, and this dude, Shiba, is just looking at these girls and like, oh my god, the government was cruel to them. Like, that was a great scene. It really was. And even beyond that, when apparently they were like, oh my god, this giant ass black shadow came down and it blew up our truck. And I'm just like, yo, like, is that a bomber? Because when I heard crow, I was like expecting the crow. And then when I see this shit, I'm like, oh, that looks like a fucking bomber. Like a legit, like, fucking aircraft bomber. Like, just dropping bombs on motherfuckers. And I was like, wait a minute, why do they keep calling it a crow and a black shadow? Like, I'm assuming that they would know exactly what a, stealth fighter would look like. But apparently it was so high up and their crow was actually flying behind it that they thought it was a giant ass crow. But no, instead it was like a stealth bomber, which happened to be coming from some other country for some reason. And since this old lady saw them, somehow they spotted this old lady, like, oh my god, she saw us, we're flying, get the bitch. Like, And then they're capturing her, and that doesn't make sense to me because I mean it's a bomber. Drop a fucking bomb, you're done with it. Like, I don't want to be rude or anything, but I mean, come on, like that would have been like pretty messed up if they did that. And I'm actually happy that they didn't, because then that would have been a whole different type of story. And like, oh my god, they killed old lady. That would have been really bad. But no, they're just like, okay, she got away. Fuck it, we're out. And so apparently there were some type of secret mission to spy on these people or something about this thing that Shiba himself created using these very hands. Like legit. Like, oh my god. When he goes into that. And then Iabara, she like comforts him by being like, no, it isn't your fault. You are an engineer. You engineered what the people wanted. And it just happened to backfire. But you did what you had to do. You did what people wanted you to do. You did what humanity wanted you to do. So it isn't your fault. You're just a man of science. Your goal is, and this goes a little bit off of it, a little bit, kind of not really. It continues it a little bit. But it's like scientists' goal are to understand exactly how everything is and how everything works and exactly what life is and the universe and the stars and how everything came to be, and but using scientific method that can actually be proven, that isn't, from like just books and just word of mouth and all that. They want to find like legit, like solid evidence that anybody could look at this and be like, huh, I'm gonna go try this. Or if they can't afford to try it, 'cause some shit is like mass expensive, they could be like, well, I can logically think about this and it makes sense. And the thing about scientists in this, it's like he feels really bad. He feels like he's been, for 30 years after this experiment, that this bomb went off or whatever he was creating, which hopefully gets enlightened, because apparently he's getting taken away, and that is what really fucking surprised me in this. I mean, think about it. We meet the creator of this entire thing in the third episode, and they're gonna come pick him up, and they're like hours away, and hours have been passing by. So next episode, in episode 4, they're most likely gonna pick him up, and if he doesn't tell us exactly what he created, and he doesn't die, because I'm having a strong feeling that he's gonna die, because they're like, yeah, we're getting out together. The second they do that scene, it's setting up death. I just feel like they're gonna both die. Him and his partner, who's just like a thug, and this old lady who apparently is like from prison, or no, this old lady, she wasn't from prison, no. This old lady's backstory is fucked up. Basically, this old lady was abandoned by her family. They used this explosion excuse to leave their grandma behind, leave their mom behind, like, fuck you, bitch, you took care of me, but fuck you, like, just, I'm out. Like, that's fucked up. And she's like the last old person survivor here. Everybody else is buried at the racetrack. That's really messed up. It really is. This anime just shows a nice side. And I'm still going on with defending scientists and stuff like that. They don't. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does, like, because it would be really fucked up if you, like, destroy the fucking world in the name of science. Like, is science really worth the lives of an entire race of people or an entire planet's life as we know? That goes in other questions. The main point is, he gave the people what they wanted. He was doing what he believed at the time to be the right choice to move humanity a step further. Because whatever this was, even though it backfired, the after effects of it backfiring were really bad. So that means that the potential that it could have done is really good. Because, I mean, let's look at this. Scientists usually, they can predict what the risk rates of something are. Like if you're making like a nuclear reactor, you know the risks. Like, yeah, if it goes off, the shit's gonna, fuck some shit up. But they have countermeasures for that. And they assess the risk. Like, okay, we can get power for this area, and we can help, relieve some stress and lower some fucking pollution or some shit. And they're adjusting the numbers, but like, but if it goes off with this percentage, is it really worth it to save this much money or this much pollution for, this much risk? And so apparently we saw the risk, and it's been 30 years and it's still fucked up. And so the reward, what they were actually going for, knowing that this could have happened, because scientists don't go anything like, oh my god, I wonder what would really happen. Well, they do, but not like legit with nowadays. Like in the beginning, it was like I wonder what would happen if I took two atoms and I put them together. They'll try to do that shit, and it's like, no, you don't want to do that. In advanced science from that, and two, like, you can somewhat assess the possibilities of what could happen negatively. Like there were many possibilities that could happen, but it was like there must have been one that was like, yo, if we do this, it's probably gonna fuck up this city and everything around it. But if it succeeds and it doesn't fail, then we move humanity a great step forward in advancement. And so the risk reward must have been really high. And so I'm just wondering exactly what he's creating. And so they're either going to tell us what he's creating, or there's going to be some weird type of like comeback scene of him. Because he created it himself. He created the building. And we meet him so early in the anime, it's kind of like, yo, like this is like some end anime stuff. Like most animes, you meet the dude who created like at the last episode, like, yeah, just coming out some fucking shadows and shit, like, yeah, I did it. Okay, you got me. I caused all this. Like, oh god, I fucking hate that shit. Don't you? Like nigga come out the shadows or just fly behind their like just come. You know what I mean? Dude be chilling like in a fucking chair, just looking at a window, coming from back. You coming from behind the motherfucker. Then he just turns around like, yeah. So he caught me. Like, no, fuck that shit. No, I want this type of shit. Like, we're meeting him now. And it's going to be like, okay, we finally found out what it is. Next season, guess what? We're going to try and combat it. No, they're going to try and possibly combat it now. In my opinion, that's where it seems like it's going. And so I'm really enjoying that. I mean, it goes through so many aspects that it just makes it really good. I mean, it has its sort of funny moments and it has its sort of dramatic moments. Like, and then there's this one over dramatic moment, of course, because Iabara, her personality forces her, or her personality is like, if she feels personally responsible for, the Mrs. and the Mister over here. And because of that, she feels personally responsible. Now that she feels personally responsible, it leads into this whole situation where, well, as you could say, she's gonna be apologizing and crying a whole bunch more. Like she really is gonna hold on to those two's death like for life. You could like tell because she's just apologizing to this random old dude. Like, I'm sorry. It's like, I knew you knew them, and I'm sorry I let them die. And they're like, it's not your fault. And old dude's like, legit, like, it ain't your fault. But she still blames herself. So she does have a really unique character. And apparently Io doesn't have any type of like special ability from what we see so far. And I'm kind of disappointed because of that. Like, I mean, one girl can fucking talk to dogs and has great eyesight and hearing. The other girl's like really athletic and she's like a leader. And then there's Io. And what does she do? What does she do? She says herself, I wish I had some special abilities this episode. What type of shit is that? What type of shit is that? Like, does she really not have anything? Like, it's like, yeah, so let's make two really unique ones. Then let's just make a really ordinary one. That's just a basic human, but just with these abilities. But then when she felt left out, yeah, I don't know. Maybe she won't. But it seems like she's pretty left out right now, don't you think? Like one girl's talking with animals, the other one's whooping niggas' ass in the street, and you're just sitting there. I'm too weak. Like, I'm one of them. I thought we were sisters, but no. It's like I'm just the weakling. They're always protecting me. I want to see some of that with her, because if she really doesn't have those, then she might as well pull that type of effect. But I don't know. It would be really interesting if she started doing a little bit more. Because I want to see her a little bit more. Because she hasn't had like any shine time really in this anime yet. And it's like the third episode, so it's like, yo, like she's like a background. She's just there right now. She did have that thing with that fucking wife crazy, you know, like, oh, I got the daughter, I'm not going back. That whole thing. When that happened, she was like talking with her and connecting with her in that one scene, and that was a little bit of her. But we haven't seen her like showcase any of these abilities, like to show that they're altered humans. And apparently, it seems like she's a ordinary altered human. Like, yeah, it's just I can just be chilling out here, and yeah, they use my blood and all that. But besides that, I'm no different from you. Like, I don't know. But if that was the case, though, then why give the other two like massive powers? I would be like kind of like, oh fuck. Like, you'd feel left out, wouldn't you? I mean, I want to see a little bit more of her. Because so far it's been like Ibarra and Taiko. Taiko's like second. Like, yeah, she's a good second. She's in most scenes, but Io's just like a background character right now. She isn't really doing that much yet. She had one scene here, but at the end of the day, it was just like one. I want her to get a little bit more throughout the anime. And so with that being said, overall this episode, I gotta give it a 9.2 out of 10. It was better than good, and it was better than great. It was like great plus, if you wanna say that. It was Smith some motherfucking honor. Peace the fuck out.